You've seen examples of that Terminator or Cyborg vision, right? Well, a real-life version of that exists. It's called augmented reality. To summarize AR, it's any technology that overlays additional information onto what you can already see. Because of this, AR can be particularly useful for operating vehicles, especially through the use of a helmet-mounted display. You've probably seen examples of augmented reality without even knowing it. Here's 3 examples from the Franklin Institute. Pokemon Go. You throw your balls at monsters until they're yours. Augmented reality. Some weird IKEA app that previews furniture in your house. Augmented reality. Those Snapchat lenses where your little dude does a funny dance on the floor. Yo, holy shit, that's augmented reality. Anyways, I think a good example to start with is using AR in cars. To help you get a better understanding of this stuff, I'm going to use some clips from a game I play called Stormworks, as well as a few other sources. Anyway, the most basic way we can implement AR into a car would be to project it onto a windshield. With the windshield projection method, one of the main things we could do is overlay your route to a location onto your view of the road. This can be especially useful for driving in areas where roads make your GPS look like everybody's favorite Italian pasta. I mean, seriously, have you ever tried to navigate through San Antonio using a GPS? Anyways, a different method we could use in the cars is our friend the helmet-mounted display. This method could still do the aforementioned route overlay, but with the help of a few cameras, we can project the imagery of blind spot areas onto a helmet visor so we can effectively see through them. So it would look something more like this.
Man, well, where am I supposed to go again? Wait, what? Man, what the hell? Oh my god, no way.
Alright, so in this situation, the AR systems could have helped Matt in 2 main ways. First, he wouldn't have stopped in confusion if he had the projection telling him where to go. Second, he could have seen that I was there if he had a system that allowed him to see through the blind spots of his car. If he had one of these, either he would never have stopped, or he would have seen me coming and ran away. Anyways, seeing as we just witnessed the grungulation of my best friend Matt, let's move on to augmented reality in aircraft. The most common form of this, which you've seen before, is the heads-up display, or HUD for short. Your average HUD displays a bunch of useful information to the pilot of an aircraft. This ranges from things such as airspeed, altitude, and flight path vector to other things such as bank indicators, angle of attack indicators, target lock-on markers, and a reticle to aim the guns. Helmet-mounted displays can do this too, but better. According to Business Insider, the helmet-mounted displays that F-35 pilots use can mark other aircraft in the area or show them where an incoming missile is. Their helmet-mounted displays are also linked to the Distributed Aperture System, or DAS, which gives them the ability to see through the aircraft. Here's a little rig I put together to vaguely simulate what it would look like. Because of DAS, they can keep targets or potential targets in their sight regardless of the maneuver they're pulling. DAS is made up of 6 cameras positioned around the aircraft, including a forward-looking infrared or FLIR camera, which gives the pilot thermal night vision. Similar technologies have been implemented onto other fighters such as the Eurofighter Typhoon, this one, not this one, the A-10, and the F-16. Now to move on to helicopter stuff. I'm mainly going to focus on the AH-64 Apache here, more specifically the longbow variant and anything after that. Anyways, the Apache has 2 crew members, a pilot and a gunner. Something pretty cool about the Apache is that both the pilot and the gunner have the ability to slave the gun to their head movements, allowing them to aim it at what they look at. This tracking is done using 2 sensors in the cockpit.
So, if the gunner needs to see me to aim at me, I'll just go at night so he can't find me.
Wrong. Both the gunner and the pilot get night vision. It's actually kinda cool the way it works. The pilot's night vision sensor is located on a dedicated turret on top of the nose. The gunner's night vision sensor is located on the bottom of the nose here. The crew can also use their displays to find and select targets too. They can actually track up to about 256 targets in a 31-mile radius through the use of a big radar dome on the top of the mast. This radar goes to a processor which compares the shapes of objects with a database of vehicles and other military equipment. The processor then determines whether something is part of the background, such as things like buildings, trees, and other terrain features, or if it is a potential target, such as a tank, truck, armored car, or some kind of emplacement. The system then marks any potential targets on the helmet-mounted displays. The crew can then target them by aiming their helmet-mounted display at them. If a target is more armored, the Apache crew will likely use an AGM-114 or a Hydra 70 unguided rocket. If they're targeting something unarmored like a technical or infantry, they'll likely use the 30mm gun since it's usually loaded with explosive belts. The standard for gunnery with the 30mm is to hit a target once for every 30 shots fired at about 800 to 1200 meters. So that pretty much sums it up. We got an idea of what augmented reality is, then discussed how useful it can be in vehicles. Seeing your route, seeing through blind spots, seeing through cockpits, and seeing your targets. Overall, I'm pretty tired after about 15 to 16 hours of editing this video. I'm still pretty new to editing, so I'm open to input. Make sure to let me know if I can improve somewhere. Bye.